On this basis, it is good to reflect upon the fact that we have walked a considerable journey already with the leadership of this airport. Consequently, let me take this opportunity to personally thank management of OR Tambo Airport under the decisive leadership of Ms. Bongiwe Piki for their proactive role in wanting to be a part of the overall solution to the issues confronting this airport. The meeting held with you and your team on 6 June 2017 truly set the tone and contributed towards the formulation of why we are here today. The issues raised with me directly on the 6th and our team of ministers of June by AXA leadership included corruption and collusion. On this issue, the airport has already suspended some employees allegedly involved in illicit commissions paid by certain hospitality providers in order to secure referrals. The Gauteng Tourism Authority has also suspended other employees allegedly for a similar offense. Further suspensions and disciplinary procedures are possible. From a South African Police Service perspective, I can confirm that a number of police officers have now been removed from active duty at this airport. Our integrated plan seeks to mitigate corruption and collusion by ensuring that all staff working in the airport precinct over a period of time are vetted. We need to emphasize that vetting for everybody who works at this airport, at all levels, they will be vetted henceforth in terms of our integrated plan, with lifestyles audits being done randomly, as well as the effective rotation of government law enforcement agencies based at the airport. Lack of command and control, simply put, this point speaks to a lack of effective policing leadership. To this end, I have instructed that a more senior police officer was required to lead this airport. I'm therefore happy to announce that Major General Helena Ndaba has been appointed in this role. This will strengthen our leadership authority at the airport. I have every confidence in the Major General and bode well in a new role at the airport. Furthermore, we support OR Tambo International Airport's vision of constructing a centralized and integrated control room over the next few months. This will ensure that all relevant law enforcement agencies are housed in one area so that when issues of crime occur at the airport and surrounding areas, they are able to respond effectively and efficiently. However, in the interim, we have already put in place an integrated team to drive this initiative. Given the strategic nature of this national key point, it is critical that all government agencies performing a role at the airport are adequately equipped in order to ensure that this plan is both implementable and successful. As ministers, we have instructed our DGs to ensure that this plan is adequately resourced with the right caliber of personnel and associated tools of trade required. This includes the mayor of Ekurhuleni and the city of Ekurhuleni in order to perform their mandated duties effectively. Will therefore be holding senior leadership to account in this regard on a regular basis. Behavior and lack of commitment by government agencies. We are convinced that with the correct policing at this airport, driving the integrated technical plan across government agencies will soon see a turnaround in both behavior and commitment by our members. We have maintained all along that from a law enforcement perspective, we have had nothing tangible to show or produce in this regard. Now, moving forward, we have today approved a tangible, practical, highly implementable, and sustainable plan. This is not merely an intervention, but a more long-term, sustainable plan, which now becomes the only framework for law enforcement at this airport and other ports of entry, which may experience similar challenges. Therefore, this plan and its integrated approach will be rolled out to other ports of entry. We have spoken to this previously, the question of non-existence of tactical intelligence over the past few weeks. Moving forward, this must be intelligence-driven. From a South African police point perspective, we cannot have a situation where we remain reactive. This plan is both proactive and seeks to drive a prevention approach. In order for this integrated plan to be successful, our intelligence gathering efforts need to be vastly improved upon. To this end, we have also engaged with the Minister of State Security, and we have agreed that these capabilities will be made available for this purpose, and they are reflective and they are part of our integrated plan. Poor management of roadways. We don't have to be a security expert to notice that we currently do not have the right attitude and approach to how best to manage our roadways in and around the airport. Contained within this integrated plan is the role that EMPD will play in supporting the success of this plan. The Executive Mayor of Ekurhuleni, Councillor Mzwandile Masina, committed to deploy additional EMPD officers to the airport precinct. The core focus is to police routes leading to and from the airport. From OR Tambo Airport management standpoint, we have been briefed today that CCTV cameras have been installed in strategic areas in and around the airport. This will go a long way to augment the work currently being done by EMPD with the support of Gauteng traffic in this regard. Safeguarding of the national key point, access control of perimeter gates. From a SAPS perspective, there is a recommendation that we consider extending the mandated boundaries of the national key point. And this will be examined by the collective of the JCPS cluster led by the Minister of Defense. Effectiveness of investigations and prosecution. It was agreed that within the integrated team, the role of the Hawks and that of the Director of Public Prosecutions forms part of this approach. The DPP will provide guidance to the detectives, because ultimately we need to try more winnable cases. Furthermore, as requested by the GM of this airport, I am in consultation with the Minister of Justice to explore how we could set up a special court at the airport to handle both effectively and expeditiously all civil aviation related offenses. This matter was reflected and it is now being considered in relation to the team of our DGs to map out what we call modalities of the implementation of such an idea of a court at the OR Tambo Airport. What does success look like? In order to drive success on a sustainable basis, we need to ensure that all government law enforcement agencies, together with airport management, collaborate, cooperate, and drive an integrated approach. Support must also be provided at all levels, ministerial and operational level, on a sustained basis. Visible policy and effective deployment of all resources remains core to the success of this plan. Without it, we will fail, not only ourselves, but South Africans at large. I truly believe that this integrated multidisciplinary tactical security plan has all the hallmarks for success. However, we need to work smartly and effectively if we are to truly turn the corner on crime and corruption at this airport. Furthermore, please appreciate that we cannot speak to sensitive details contained within the plan, as this will jeopardize national security at this national key point. My role today is to reassure South Africans that from today we have a formidable and highly implementable plan in place for this airport. Citizens need to appreciate that what is being shared today is done. So, in the spirit of transparency, as we attempt to combat crime effectively at the airport, on the basis that we now, in an integrated fashion, deliver on what we have committed to. I want to be clear in sending a strong message to criminals and those corrupt police officials who are in cahoots with criminals that your days are numbered. Will not tolerate a state of lawlessness where criminals do as they please in our country. We therefore want to assure South Africans and our international guests that their safety is our #1 priority. As the South African police and all law enforcement agencies, and through the successful implementation of this integrated plan, crime and criminality of this magnitude will become a thing of the past. To the leadership of all government law enforcement agencies, thank you for creating a plan which at the heart of it speaks to restoring faith in law enforcement efforts at OR Tambo International. To all South Africans and visitors to our country, we want to apologize for any inconvenience which may be caused in future given the random roadblocks, stop and search, which may arise as part of this implementation of this plan. Furthermore, airport management is currently working on a process of looking at how to effectively limit access to its frontal road. The roadway studies are currently underway at the airport to see how this can be effectively achieved. Airport management will, over the next few weeks, communicate to South Africans the impact this may have on passengers and visitors traveling to and from the airport. We do this to ensure your safety and security. To please understand in this regard, you may need to plan your trip to and from the airport well in advance of your scheduled flight time. No further delays and inconvenience to your trip will give a gap to criminals to undermine law enforcement and bring about fear and an unsafe environment to all our citizens. So thank you for your patience and your time.